Hi everyone, this is going to be the weekly reading for all star signs for the week of 8th of August 2022. I'll always say if you tune into these weekly readings, there's something you're supposed to hear. Right, so we'll do tarot cards along with white line cards, and then we'll do a relationship reading after that. If you'd like a personal or private reading from me, then please contact or go to my website. You can order readings via my website. I will put the link in the description box below. So just go to the website and you'll see there all my readings. I do amazing readings, especially the soulmate readings, but any of the other readings too, you can just go there and order your reading. Right, so let's see what's in store for us this coming week. Here's a jumpy card. Okay, we'll see. We'll just take white line cards with it to give us a little more insight into the situation. Okay. Right, I think that's that lot. Let's see which white line cards come up with us, and then we'll get our story. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So the first card that you get up is the Knight of Fire, and that's a sudden event that needs immediate action. You're going to have to decide quickly. You're going to have to decide on your feet, but do think it through. Don't just react, okay? Take time to think this through. It's going to come at you quickly. It's going to be a little bit unexpected. Uranus kind of energy, right? But just take your time to make that decision. Even though it is time is going to be of essence, take a little bit of time to make a good decision. The neighborliness. That is a tongue twister card comes up with it. And that is all about networking. That is about perhaps looking for advice or sounding boards in the people around you, or considering the people around you, or knowing that the network you have around you is going to be an important aspect of this decision. I'm also hearing that the reaction you might have to take may be because of your network or the environment you're in or the people around you, okay? It's associates, it's not family. That's important here, or that is the story that is involved here, all right? Then you get the High Priestess, and that says, consider carefully before acting. Now, it's interesting because you got that sudden event that's going to need a reaction, but do take your time to think, even though timing is important. And the High Priestess once again says, do consider before taking the action. Don't just react off the bat immediately. It's probably going to evoke some kind of reaction from you that you want to make immediately. But take a step back, breathe a bit, listen a bit, perhaps consult with your acquaintances, your network, okay, see what their response is to it. But ultimately, the complete card comes up with this, which says it is finishing up something. So that's possibly what's to take into consideration. Why not to react immediately? Because you need to understand and comprehend that a situation has drawn to a close. It is finished, it is done, it is dusted. The complete card is often about what I call a karmic story. In other words, a story that had a beginning and a middle and an end, and you reach the end of that story now. It's finished, that story. It's completed. So whatever this is, a situation now reached its culmination, it's finished. That's interesting because there is a full moon next week, and Uranus is, I think, opposing or in opposition to this. So it's a kind of energy that comes out of you, out of nowhere. It's going to evoke a, hi Valerie, catching me halfway through. Sure. I'll recap it for you, okay? So we started off with the Knight of Fire. So suddenly an event crops up or something crops up and it needs your attention immediately, but don't take an instant reaction to it. Don't take an instant decision. Spend a little bit of time thinking. It's to do with your acquaintances. This is not a family thing, okay? Listen to your intuition. Take that time to make that decision. Consider carefully before reacting or acting, because this is closing up a karmic cycle. It's closing up a story. It's a story that's finished, and you actually need to move on from here. So I think that the instant reaction would be to try and hang on to what is, but you need to move on from this because it is now done and dusted, all right? Now, I was just saying there's a full moon coming up this week. It's in opposition to Uranus. And that means that something will come out of the blue. It'll be something that feels like a bit of a tug of war for you, but don't react immediately. Sit back a bit, listen to your intuition, think about it, okay? And you'll get feedback from, and it's your network, it's neighborliness, which says to me it's not a family issue. It's something to do with your acquaintances, possibly where you live, possibly the people you work with. It's a little bit more outside of your immediate family and friends, okay? But some kind of situation draws to a close, typical of a full moon. It's finished now, so your decision making needs to be made from that point of view. Then the final two cards that come up in this section is the King of Air, which is balancing your mental and emotional considerations. So that's really the key criteria to whatever crops up this week. And it's Uranus energy, so I can't even predict for you. Okay, personally, I probably would be able to. But as a general thing, it's going to be very different for each of you. But balance your emotional considerations and your intellectual considerations. To find that middle path somewhere is going to be what's important. This is an air card, so it's clarity of mind, okay? Expand your territory comes up with that. Now, I'm not surprised because you've got the complete card and then you got the expand your territory card, which says the answer and your future lies outside of your comfort zone. So your comfort zone, which often is really uncomfortable, okay? For most of us, it actually is, but we know it, so it's comfortable. You're an air sign, Valerie. Okay, so this one's definitely applying to you this week. So what we're going to find here, I think the full moon is in Aquarius, which is an air sign. So it's really probably going to have quite a bit more effect on those of us that are air signs. So expand your territory and complete is saying something is complete in your comfort zone, your uncomfortable zone. I'm going to call it for some of you, for most of us actually. And you need to move on now and expand your territory. Broaden your horizons. And that can apply in any area of your life. So whatever it is that is complete, that is pushing at you, that comes out of the blue this week, what it is wanting you to do is to expand your territory. Because in that new territory, there are wonderful things to be found. What you're looking for is possibly to be found in that new territory. But we tend to stick within our known territories. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm going to call it our uncomfortable zone from now on, okay? Doesn't matter how comfortable it is. We know it. We're very, very partial to our uncomfortable zones. And myself included, there's nobody that's not like that. So just remember this week, take a little bit of time to make that decision. Even though it's going to want you, even though your response or reaction is going to be instant, take a seat, take a step back, think a little, trust your intuition, balance your emotional and your mental considerations. Understand that a story has drawn to its conclusion and that you now need to move on to new territory, a new uncomfortable zone. This time it's only uncomfortable because you don't know it, okay? But within that new territory, you started something new, Valerie. Okay. So in that territory is what you're looking for. But you need to be willing to explore that new territory. Right, so that is the reading for this week. Now let's see, for those of you that want to know what relationships have in store this week. Given the reading and the astrological lineup for this week, this could also be interesting. Let's see what's in store. Uranus can work both ways, even when it's in opposition. Often some astrologers will just read it as a opposition which will cause strife. But sometimes opposition can, the opposition can be, just imagine you really, really, really been struggling and you take a lottery ticket and you win an absolute fortune. Trust me, it's not all smiles and happiness, okay? Those are major decisions you get to make and you're going to feel hugely uncomfortable. But it's a major thing. It's a brilliant thing that could happen. You could turn your life around and do unbelievable things. Most people actually don't because it's so scary, okay? So you need to understand that Uranus energy, even though it comes at you as a square, all it means is going to elicit a big reaction out of you, an instant reaction. But whatever it is can be really, really amazing. So it just depends on your own story and how you view it, okay? But it's always there to drag us out of that uncomfortable, familiar zone into something new. Give us the opportunity to do that. We don't always take it. Right. Let's see what relationships have in store for us this week. Okay, there's the first one. I'm not surprised that card came up. I could have foretold that that card would come up. Right, so the first one is about loving yourself first. This is about self-worth. So this week you might find a self-worth issue that Valerie says it's scary. Yeah, new is always scary because we just don't know what to expect, and anything could happen. But I think if Lionheart, I'm hearing, Lionheart, the Lionheart is going to do the world of good for you in that situation, okay? It can get you new territories that you didn't even know about before. So love yourself first is all about self-worth. This week, that button should be pushed, will be pushed. Where someone says or does something in the relationship realm that has you coming up against your self-worth. But you need to understand that you are worth it. That I will always say that, and I will keep repeating it because it is true. Okay, if we can repeat that to ourselves and believe it, it makes a massive difference in our relationships. Trust the path that you are walking with this week. That's why I laughed when this card came up. There's Uranus energy. Just trust where it's going, okay? Trust it's doing what needs to be done. Trust with relationships this week, whether it's a new one or one that you're in already, that the convoluted path that it's taking, that's what this card is all about, is leading you to a specific destination. Even though you can't see it at the moment, you don't quite understand what it is, there is a specific destination in mind. And if the final card just says it's safe for you to love, I think we can comfortably say that wherever it's leading you, it is safe for you to open your heart to this situation. There will be a good outcome. The path at the moment might look a little bit rocky, and it might look like you really don't know where it's going, but just trust, okay? Because it is leading somewhere where it is safe for you to open your heart. Right, so that is your reading for this week. Valerie, thank you so much for chatting to me. That is really, really nice. I enjoy it so much. Sending you all hugs and blessings for the week ahead. And if you'd like a personal private reading, I'll just repeat again. I'll put the link in the description box below. It's a pleasure, Valerie. And you can just go to my website and order a reading from there. Valerie, specifically sending you hugs and blessings for the week ahead, and a lion heart as well. We'll speak again soon, everyone.